going on, Jeromes? It's a beautiful Monday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another 7-round Vikings mock draft. Nailed it. It's good times, man. Also, it's like hot in the great state of Minnesota. It's going to be like 48 degrees today. I got the vapors. So 7-round mock draft. This is not NOM. There are rules here. So we like the scenario that we laid out yesterday. So we'll keep it because it is rooted in something that the Vikings could and should do. They got the cap to and motivation to address a lot of needs in free agency so that they can go and draft BPA, best player available. So Darnold leaves. No tag and trade, just leaves. Daniel Jones is brought back. Murph is back. Reisner, Bynum leaves. Bradford, Yegon. Harrison returns. Gilly retires. Aaron Jones is back on a reduced deal. Mekhi Becton, one of the guard spots. James Daniels. I've wanted James Daniels forever. He's back again. Osa Odighizuwa, Sheldon Rankins. So Osa, Tier 1 defensive tackle, Sheldon Rankins, veteran value, both can get after things, can get buckets. So Mike Hilton in the slot. God, I love Mike Hilton. Like Mike Hilton, blitzing, run support, everything's going to be there. And then Javon Holland, 1-for-1 swapping out for Cam Beasley by him. Now, is there a lot of big-ticket items? Yes, there certainly is. But the Vikings have the cap. They have the motivation. They can structure things where they can check a lot of boxes in a free agency. So let's dive on into our 7-round mock draft. Feeling good. I love it, man. So Cam Ward at 1, Hunter at 2, Abdul Kader at 3, Will Campbell 4. I think that's his floor. I think that's tailor-made for him to go to the Patriots. Tet to the Jaguars. Ooh, Tet and BTJ. Let's go. Shador Sanders falls to the Raiders. Starks to the Jets on the back end. Going to be a great piece. Well, he's basically going to be the new Brian Branch for Aaron Glenn with the Jets. Mason Graham to the Panthers. Ooh, Mason Graham and Derek Brown together. Come on. Tyler Warren, it's kind of fitting since there is a lot of comps of Jimmy Graham to Tyler Warren. So there you go. LB3 to the Bears. This is the dumbest thing ever because, I mean, first off, I mean, the Bears could go a lot of different directions. They could go edge. They could go D-line. They should go O-line. They could go Ashton Genty. And also, speaking of the ridiculousness, so Genty goes to the Falcons, whatever. Now, in general, I feel like PFF does a good job knocking out who's going to go, but maybe not always to the teams. Yeah. Simmons goes to the Seahawks. Shamar Stewart, high variance, goes to the Broncos. Kenneth Grant, goes to the Steelers. That's a great fit. I love it. Derek Harmon goes to the Packers, unfortunately. So now the Vikings. So if we're dead set on going BPA, I mean, there's a lot of options here. So Michael Williams, M'Boo, Hampton, Zabel, Scorton, Darius Alexander is there. Colson Loveland, which people got mad. Jelon Walker, I think is uber underrated, but gosh darn it. Like, what do you do? So off-ball, edge rusher, all that stuff. Trey Amos, Siobhan Ravel is there as well. Got 4 trade offers. Chiefs at 31, dropping down 7. I want to stay in the first round, all right, so 31. Let's slide this over. What can we do? So I want at least a second-round pick if we're moving down this far. So that is 37. Can we get 2? No, maybe not so much. Can we get that? No. Can we get a 4th? All right, so 18% chance, 1 in 5. Just kick the tires. Why not? All right, so they say no. So I don't want to package up any of our picks. This has a 37% chance. Give me your 6 and 7 and 5. No, that's too much. That's too much. All right, give me your 6 and 7 next year. Ooh, baby. It's a wild world. So love to get back into the second round. All right, so let's see what happened in front of us. The Chiefs came up for Hampton. It's good. Zabel, Scorton, M'Boo, Derek Alexander goes to the Bills. I kind of like that. Him and Ed Oliver are going to do some good things there. So the Vikings at 31. So Heidi Campbell, Connerly, Loveland, Jelon Walker's. I mean, I feel like even though it's doubling and tripling down on strength, I feel like Walker should and could be the pick. Benjamin Morrison is also there. TJ Sanders is also my dude. Landon Jackson, Betch. I mean, Tyleek Williams, of course. So, I mean, There's a lot of ways the Vikings could go in this spot, but I feel like since we brought back Murph, we got Hilton. The other cornerback spot, it's going to be manned by Blackman and or Nudie McLaughlin, which I feel fine with. But adding Morrison to the stew, medically, if he checks out, I really like his length on the outside. I think that he would be great in the Flora scheme. So getting him at 31, kind of like how things are going. All right, so we got a second-round pick from the Chiefs at 63. Sampson. Sampson is there. Caleb Johnson. Jordan Birch. Judkins is there as well. Jordan Phillips. It kind of stinks that Phillips is rising on up because he's one of our crushes. He's absolutely fantastic. All right, so I want to go running back. I mean, could go Sampson. Could go Caleb Johnson. Could go Trevion Henderson. Could go Judkins. So we have our choices here. So we usually go Caleb Johnson, Trevion Henderson. Judkins definitely has thought, but just to change things up, and the reason why we do so many 7-round mock drafts is that we explore different players and different values at different points of the draft, because it'd be boring if you just pick the same players every single time. You know what I mean? So Dylan Sampson, 5'11", 201. Diet Kamara, I think he's going to do good things at the Combine this week. 1,491 rushing yards, 22 touchdowns in 2024. I think that he does have a little bit of electricity. I think that he does have some juice to him. So absolutely love having him there. But if we're just sticking and picking, like I would take Henderson and Caleb Johnson over him, and probably Judkins. But like I said, we're changing things up. At 97, all right. So a couple things here. So Fannin is there, and Makuba is there. Harvey, Aeneas Peebles is my guy. Absolutely my guy. Jared Wilson. Hey, Mr. Wilson. Jamery Caldwell is there as well. So I mean, a lot of options here. A couple trade offers. 116, that's a big drop from 97. They don't have a ton of capital left anyway. 121. I don't know, basically, can I just get your entire draft and a future third? They said no. All right. So dropping down a lot. Let's get this on screen. All right, so dropping down a lot and picking up a ton of draft capital on the back end. I wouldn't necessarily be mad. All right, so actually, screw it. Let's just do it. Offer trade, enhance. One more time. All right, fine. I'll downgrade that to a 5th and 6th. Why not? All right, fine. No future picks. All right. Resuming draft. All right, so now we're back on the clock. Willie Lampkin, baby. Damian Martinez is there as well. Richard Smith. I mean, this just shows how deep this frickin' running back class is. Because Hunter Mullings is fantastic. It's going to be good to go. All right, so now we have like a buttload of picks. So now we have a 4th, 3 5ths, and 3 7ths. So we can do some damage here. And I know we haven't addressed the trenches yet. I kind of just want Willie Lampkin. I understand he's 5'10", 270. I honestly do not care. Dude can just bring it. Brings it all the damn time, man. All right, so lots of options that we can go in this spot, but do we just take Willie Lampkin and then figure out what to do with him later? I'm leaning towards it. I am absolutely leaning towards it. So Willie Lampkin, like I said, 5'10", 270, but a big reason why Omarion Hampton did so well. Now, you can't change his height, but you can add weight. But what's he going to be at the next level? Do you turn him into a blocking tight end, an H-back, a fullback? I don't know. But all I know is that Willie Lampkin, stonewalling dudes at the Senior Bowl, I want him. I want him on this team. I don't know if he ever becomes a starter. Is he more of a utility swing player? Certainly could be, but also I do not care. Do not care at this point. Next, do we just take 2 running backs? I mean, it certainly is possible. I mean, Jarquez Hunter is there, Mullings. But Damian Martinez, he's got some shake to him. So Martinez and Sampson in the same backfield, I kind of like that. That's a lot of sizzle in both of those spots. And, Cam Moore got all the hype at the U, but Martinez is a major reason why the Hurricanes had such a rebound season. So we're actually screwed. We're doubling up. I understand we haven't addressed a defensive line as of yet, but that'll come along. Next. All right, so now We got 2 5th and 3 7th-round picks. So, I mean, could double down on offensive line. Could take Kyle McCord, which would be kind of funny to me. Defensive interior. So, defensive interior, you did check some boxes bringing in Osa and Sheldon Rankins. So, even though there's a deep class, I mean, you can sort of hold off. And maybe grab Thor Griffith later on. Same thing with Ty Robinson. Joe Evans is there. Stackhouse could do that. All right. So now, what do we do? So could and should double down on offensive line. Could certainly do that. Look at corner. It's possible. But all right. So in this spot, generally we do take. Do we take the quarterback? Why not? Madam Secretary Kyle McCord is all up in the building. Formerly at the Ohio State, yes, he's a guy that blah, blah, blah. When he committed to Ohio State, Ryan Day's kind of a dummy, and that's when J.J. McCarthy, big-time Ohio State fan, flipped to Michigan. Villain origin story, and I kind of love it, man. All right, so now the Vikings doubling down offensive line. So Tyler Cooper from Minnesota, 6'6", 310. Absolute diesel power, 77.4 PFF run grade. So Tyler Cooper, welcome on in. You are indeed a Minnesota Viking. All right, so got two offensive linemen. Even though I understand we're going to get a lot of poop for this Willie Lampkin pick, I also do not care. And into the 7th round, we got 3 7th-round picks. Now, I'm just going to hammer D-line as we go along and just take 3 of our favorites going forward. So first up is, of course, Ty Robinson, the pride of Nebraska, 6'6", 310, 42 pressures, 7 sacks last season. Could play all along the defensive line. Disruptor. And is he going to ever be a starter? Probably not. Could he be a high-level rotational piece that just gets after the quarterback? Yes. So Ty Robinson, you are a Viking. Also, gotta go back in. Also, Thor Griffith from Louisville. So Griffith's story is interesting. So he dominated for the Harvard Crimson, transferred to Louisville last year, 6'2", 320, and he's a mix of nose and 3-tech, and he's just immovable, right? And plays the best game of the year against Miami, big-time competition, and he's just a tank. He's just an absolute tank. I love it. 17 pressures, 3 sacks, 84 run defense grade, and I think that bring in Griffith where you have a competition with Taki Taami for that nose spot. Kind of love it. Lastly, we're going to take our guy again. All right, so Joe Evans, nose tackle from LSU/UTSA, go Roadrunners. So 6'3", 335. Actually, was a nose tackle? Except he played a lot of 3-tech, mainly lining up over that B gap, shading over there versus a true 1. But just adding size, guys that can stop the run, guys that have pass rush upside. I think that's certainly there. So Joe Evans, you are indeed a Minnesota Viking. Woo! Kind of like it. So sort of try to make up for that defensive line at the end. So it is what it is. But, again, recapping everything that went on for agency, lots of stuff, lots of boxes checked so that the Vikings could absolutely just go ahead and get things in the draft, and that's exactly what the Vikings did. So a little bit unorthodox than what we usually do. So trading down with the Chiefs, getting back that second-round pick, Benjamin Morrison. I feel like Morrison, eventual starter on the outside with Murph. They got Hilton in the slot, and also got a lot of faith in Mekhi Blackman, Nudie McLaughlin, year 2 is going to be good as well. Dylan Sampson and Damian Martinez. That's going to be your new fire and ice. I love it. I absolutely love the juice that's going to be in that backfield so guys can get after things. Willie Lampkin, he's a sawed-off, light offensive lineman, but guess what? A former high school wrestler, champion wrestler. He holds his own, plays with great leverage, and, I mean, you could say, sure, ACC, but at the Senior Bowl, he was squaring off against future first-round picks, holding his own. So Lampkin, I don't know where he plays. Is he a backup guard, 6 offensive lineman, fullback? That has value. Absolutely does. McCord is going to be your... So there are some comps like Kyle McCord and Kirk Cousins, but as a developmental quarterback 3 ain't mad. Tyler Cooper, supersized guard, definitely could get in that guard mix immediately. But from their free agent moves, having Becton and James Daniels in that mix day one, it does help alleviate some of the need in the draft for guys to contribute right away. And then 3 defensive tackles in the 7th round: Robinson, Griffith, and Joe Evans. Add in some meat and some size, and also Robinson, a lot of pass rush upside there. Plus, I think Griffith will be able to get after things at the next level as well. So that's it. That's at 7th round Vikings mock draft on this beautiful Monday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.